Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are watching in the world. My name is Sean Driver, and this is the Red Horde, introducing a new feature. When you become a fan of a club with 159 years of history, there are stories, there's drama, there's characters, heroes, villains, and Wrexham has seen polar opposites with days of feverish glory and ghoulish-like nightmares. Call this a desire for a new fan to become a little less plastic. Plastic being a term that a lot of English fans use to describe fans that are not real. So the intention of this is to look into some of the details. This is the Red Horde, and this is Wretro Wrexham. Credit where credit is due. Looking into the past, going to start to look at some games and some highlights and some of the historical characters and players that were made up Wrexham in the days of yore. Respect goes out to Andy Mills. If you have not been to his website, wrexhamafcarchives.co.uk, it is complete and totally capturing all of the data and information that is out there, the players, the programs, the goals. If you haven't been to the website, you're missing out. I took that information as well as some video highlights that I was able to scrounge up throughout the internet regarding copyright. I consider this to capture and to fall within the defense of fair dealing and fair use, and those terms apply. But I welcome any copyright holders not identified to contact me for the purposes of improved attribution. The highlights that you're about to see are from a documentary that was made in or about 1999. I tried to find the producer and the co-producer, Simon Marsland, Dave Whitney. I know that the documentary was put onto VHS cassettes. I welcome them to reach out and discuss. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go back to 1964-65. This season before, Wrexham was relegated from the third tier down to the fourth tier, and they remained there for about 6 seasons. So the 1963-64 season saw Wrexham in the third division, the third tier of the English Football League, finishing 23rd, 13 wins, 6 draws, 27 losses. And as a consequence of that, they were relegated down into the fourth division, and H.G. Phillips Esquire was then the chairman, and he entered in a handbook that was published at the time. It was the third season, or the third edition of that handbook, his take on what relegation meant. And I'm just going to take and read an extract from that handbook. He says, "This tragic occurrence was a bitter blow to the pride and prestige of everyone connected with association football at the racecourse. We, the club that keeps the Football League flag flying in North Wales, dropping into the fourth division. What a catastrophe. Certainly with our suspicions, which had been in our minds for some time during the season, became a reality last April, and we knew that the Crystal Palace fixture would be our last in the third division for at least a season. And I must admit that I felt more depressed than I have ever done. I was lonely, and I certainly wasn't on my own by any means. But this is not the end of the world. The pessimists will tell you that it will not be so easy getting back into the third division. Quite true. It won't be. But whereas we were one of the 4 unfortunate clubs from 24 in the league to fail last season, so this time we could be one of the 4 fortunate ones. Remember, Carlisle United have done it after the first time of asking, and what they can do, I am sure we can. The fourth division, with all due respect to its member clubs, is not for us, and we must succeed, and the sooner the better." He goes on to provide a call to arms, and I appreciate the tone in which he delivers the message. He says, "I seem to remember that in my message last season I mentioned that we must all rally around each other for the sake of the old club, for the club is greater than any one individual. If ever a statement was so relevant for the coming season, it is that one. We have all had 3 months' grace to forget last season's depression. That is a thing of the past. Let's put it out of our minds and look to the future. This could be another promotion year. A great deal will depend on your loyalty. I know you will not let the club down. Will you?" obviously capturing the emotions, the most depressed he has ever been. Certainly not lonely. This is living and dying, breathing, surviving, a football club as the sustenance to your day, to your life. It is an impressive tone. Unfortunately for H.G. Phillips, then the following season, not what they were looking for. Let's call it mediocre at best. 46 games in the league, 17 wins, 9 draws, 20 losses, secured them a 14th place position. In fact, there would go on to be a total of 6 seasons in Division 4 before Wrexham was promoted to Division 3 in 1969, 1970. And then the run that happened to Wrexham's high watermark, that being its 15th place finish in Tier 2, what was then Division 2, in 1978-79. In the FA Cup first round in 64-65, we defeated Macclesfield Town, then a team that was playing in the now defunct Cheshire County League. We followed that with a second round loss, however, to Southport, a team that was also in the 4th Division, where we were in the league. In the Football League Cup, there was a loss to a team up north in the first round, and we won't mention who they are. So we joined the Welsh Cup in the 5th round. We defeated Colwyn Bay in that round on January 9th, and then we're going to join here with the highlights. This is the 6th round against Abergavenny. I'm trying to get my Welsh right. I looked up the pronunciation. I hope I got that. If I didn't, I apologize. Prior to these highlights, so that was February 19, 1965. We played to a 2-2 draw, and that brings us to the tie. The replay. February 25th, 1965, in Abergavenny, a lineup of 11 men from Wrexham take on Abergavenny. No substitutions made in the game, and some familiar names on the roster, notably Arfon Griffiths, also known as the Prince of Wales. He was then, at that time, 23 in this series. That just being a couple of seasons removed now from his attempt to stick at Arsenal. Arfon ended up playing 721 games in a Wrexham jersey. He ended up concluding in 64-65 with 14 total goals. That led him to be second overall in team scoring. The lead going to Martin King, who just was a recent addition to the club and age 27, and that season led the team with 18 goals. Also featured Peter Jones as captain, wearing number 6, and most notably the elder statesman in 64-65. That would be Ken Barnes, who acted as player and manager. That being just a smidgen of the players, but we're going to get through and go through and identify more as we go through the highlights. So let's have a look. The man with the ball in the center of the field is Ken Barnes, elder statesman of the team, also the player manager and largely responsible for bringing Arfon Griffiths to the team from Arsenal in 1962. And here we see Griffiths at work. That's Martin King on the right-hand side. Gets it across over to Keith Webber, who heads it down directly in path for Griffiths. He shoots, he scores, Wrexham up 1-0, 3 minutes in. And here Martin King, or at least I think it's Martin King, gets it across to Peter Jones, the captain. It goes out of play. The throw in, and Abergavenny collects it. It goes deep downfield, and it all looks amazingly casual. The cross is a good one, but the shot goes awry. Lucky bounce there for Steve Fleet. Not put under pressure by that shot, but he will be tested shortly. And here's Fleet being tested. Another cross header down. A tricky little save. You look at the turf and you can only imagine what sort of crazy bounces end up coming off of that pitch. Clive Goldbridge, number 11 on the left-hand side, gets it across. There's a pass. It misses number 8, Keith Webber, but Peter Jones is there to clean up, and watch this. Gets it to Griffiths with the service. Now that is gorgeous. The goal given to Ernie Fithian in the 35th minute, Wrexham up 2-0. Now this is what you call a counter-attack. Doesn't seem like there'd be anybody back. And calling on Fleet to make the stave, and he does. Shoots out the left hand. Still 2-0, on we go. Into the final minutes of the first half, Keith Webber gets the ball, freezes the goaltender, punches it by him on the right-hand side, and we go into the half. Wrexham up 3-0 over Abergavenny. Lots going on in this play as Givney comes out in the second half looking to threaten Wrexham. This play looks offside. Keeper then delivers the trip. Ball finds the net. Assume the goal was disallowed for offside. It didn't count in any event because there was a clean sheet. And here, number 8, Keith Weber, the addition to the Wrexham 94-95 squad. He gets into the penalty area. He's tripped up. Leading scorer Martin King steps up and plunks it home on the right-hand side. Very casual. And that does it for the game. 6th round, Wrexham takes it over Givney. Up next, the rivals, Chester from up north. That game, March 31st, 1965. We'll come back to this next time. Let me know what you think about these videos. Are they worth the effort and the time it takes to string everything together? I enjoy doing them. I will probably watch in any event so that I can understand, but I'm happy to continue to share them if people are interested in my poor sports broadcasting. I'm Mark Griffiths. I am not. But happy to throw them out there and see what you think. In any event, if you get a chance, theredhorde.com, have a look. Like, comment, subscribe to these videos. We're on Facebook, all of the socials. Give a follow. Going to try and get more involved as things progress. And this is Wretro Wrexham and the Red Horde. Thanks.